Titanic Fall of Facebook. Welcome to Fact Check channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Facebook, the social media giant, has come a long way since its inception in 2004. It has revolutionized the way people connect and communicate with each other across the world, becoming a cultural phenomenon and a household name. However, the company has experienced its fair share of ups and downs, with its rise to fame and subsequent fall from grace being a topic of much debate. The rise of Facebook was meteoric. It was founded by Mark Zuckerberg, a Harvard student, as a platform for college students to connect with each other. The concept proved to be immensely popular, and the platform soon expanded to other universities and eventually to the general public. With a user-friendly interface, Facebook became the go-to social media platform for millions of people, offering a plethora of features like status updates, photo sharing, messaging, and more. As Facebook grew, it became more than just a social media platform. It became a hub for businesses to promote their products, celebrities to connect with fans, and even for political campaigns to influence voters. The company's revenue grew exponentially as it began to monetize its user base, using targeted advertising to make billions of dollars in profit. However, Facebook's fall from grace began with a series of scandals that rocked the company's reputation. The biggest of these was the Cambridge Analytica scandal, where it was revealed that the political consulting firm had harvested the personal data of millions of Facebook users without their consent to influence the 2016 US presidential election. This revelation led to a public outcry and raised serious questions about Facebook's data privacy policies and its role in the spread of misinformation. The Cambridge Analytica scandal was not the only problem that Facebook faced. The platform has also been criticized for its role in spreading hate speech, fake news, and propaganda. In addition, concerns have been raised about the impact of social media on mental health, with studies showing that excessive use of Facebook and other social media platforms can lead to depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. Facebook's reputation has taken a significant hit in recent years, with a growing number of users losing trust in the platform. The company has been hit with a series of lawsuits and regulatory actions, including fines for privacy violations and antitrust investigations. The company's stock price has also been impacted, with investors becoming increasingly concerned about Facebook's ability to navigate the changing regulatory landscape. As it happens, by 2015, Facebook was already aware that original sharing on the platform was in a steep decline. People were visiting Facebook, but they weren't posting. Earlier this year, a researcher at Facebook shared some alarming statistics with colleagues. Teenage users of the Facebook app in the US had declined by 13% since 2019 and were projected to drop 45% over the next 2 years, driving an overall decline in daily users in the company's most lucrative ad market. Young adults between the ages of 20 and 30 were expected to decline by 4% during the same timeframe. Making matters worse, the younger a user was, the less on average they regularly engaged with the app. The message was clear: Facebook was losing traction with younger generations fast. The aging up issue is real, the researcher wrote in an internal memo. They predicted that, if increasingly fewer teens are choosing Facebook as they grow older, the company would face a more severe decline in young users than it already projected. The findings, echoed by other internal documents and my conversations with current and former employees, show that Facebook sees its aging user base as an existential threat to the long-term health of its business, and that it's trying desperately to correct the problem with little indication that its strategy will work. If it doesn't correct course, the 17-year-old social network could, for the first time, lose out on an entire generation. And while Instagram remains incredibly popular with teens, Facebook's own data shows that they are starting to engage with the app less. The internal documents are part of disclosures made to the Securities and Exchange Commission and provided to Congress in redacted form by legal counsel for Frances Haugen, an ex-Facebook employee turned prominent whistleblower. A consortium of news organizations, including The Verge, has obtained the redacted versions received by Congress. Some documents served as the basis for earlier reporting in the Wall Street Journal. Facebook's struggle to attract users under the age of 30 has been ongoing for years, dating back to as early as 2012. But according to the documents, the problem has grown more severe recently. And the stakes are high. While it famously started as a networking site for college students, employees have predicted that the aging up of the app's audience, now nearly 2 billion daily users, has the potential to further alienate young people, cutting off future generations and putting a ceiling on future growth. The problem explains why the company has taken such a keen interest in courting young people and even preteens to its main app and Instagram, spinning up dedicated youth teams to cater to them. In 2017, it debuted a standalone messenger app for kids, and its plans for a version of Instagram for kids were recently shelved after lawmakers decried the initiative. At the same time, a rising crop of younger social networks has continued growing in popularity with young people, a phenomenon Facebook has closely tracked with its own research. In an internal presentation earlier this year, employees estimated that teens spend 2-3x more time on TikTok than on Instagram, and that Snapchat is the preferred method of communicating with best friends for young people. Our products are still widely used by teens, but we face tough competition from the likes of Snapchat and TikTok, Joe Osborne, a Facebook spokesperson, said in response to questions about the documents cited in this story. All social media companies want teens to use their services. We are no different. Most young adults perceive Facebook as a place for people in their 40s and 50s, according to the presentation. Young adults perceive content as boring, misleading, and negative. They often have to get past irrelevant content to get to what matters. It added that they have a wide range of negative associations with Facebook, including privacy concerns, impact to their well-being, along with low awareness of relevant services. The March presentation to Cox showed that, in the US, teen acquisition is low and regressing further. Account registrations for users under 18 were down 26% from the previous year in the app's 5 top countries. For teens already on Facebook, the company was continuing to see lower or worsening levels of engagement compared to older cohorts. Messages sent by teens were down 16% from the previous year, while messages sent by users aged 20 to 30 were flat. A particularly concerning trend, according to one slide, was that time spent in the Facebook app by young people in the US had declined from the period before the onset of the coronavirus pandemic last year, when usage of Facebook services momentarily spiked across the board. Another slide described addressing the existing engagement gap between younger and older users, saying that people older than 30 in the US were spending, on average, 24 more minutes per day on Facebook than younger users. Young adults feel Facebook shouldn't be the place for rants and charged opinions, even though it seems prevalent on the platform, according to a November 2020 strategy document about targeting young adults. External forces such as negative media coverage further tarnish this perception, it continued, equating to a brand tax we need to get ahead of. In order to address the significant risk of young adults engaging less and less with Facebook over time, employees last November identified 2 beached areas of focus, allowing us to establish credibility and gain trust for extension into future areas, like mental health products. Losing young people wasn't always the existential threat for the blue Facebook app that it is now, according to Michael Saman, a 25-year-old former product manager for youth products who joined the company in 2014 when he was just 17. With the rise of selfie cameras in phones, social apps became more visual while Facebook stayed mostly focused on text posts. In conclusion, the rise and fall of Facebook is a tale of how a promising startup can quickly turn into a behemoth that is difficult to control. Facebook's success was built on its ability to connect people, but it has also brought with it a host of challenges, including data privacy concerns, fake news, and hate speech. As the company continues to navigate these challenges, it remains to be seen whether it can regain the trust of its users and restore its reputation as a force for good in the world.